I think I can hear it better now. Just trying to see if you can hear my voice. Doesn't seem very loud, but anyway. Alright, welcome everybody. Game Cooker US Rocks VR here. How y'all doing? Just playing some Primal for a little while. Talk about some things. I'm kind of running partially blind here because my glasses are just no good anymore. And, you know, just didn't have time to get new ones, and money's been pretty tight now because of the economy. So I'm just trying to drag it out as long as possible, I guess, until I start walking in the walls. Oh, there's a chest back here. So I hope everybody's doing well. Hey, Little Red, how's it going? I think there's like 4 spots left on the server. I only made it 6 because I didn't want it to get too unstable. I mean, if you guys want me to make it higher, if there's enough demand, then I will bump it up to 8 again, but you know, I just want things to be as stable as possible. Now there were some Utah out here, but I took a while to come out of that tree, so they probably walked away. So you see the title of my video, talking about plastic bags, paper straws. I'm sure you can probably guess where I'm going with that. So, in the great state of Little California, also known as New Jersey, they decided they were going to ban plastic bags, like meaning the store bags that you usually get in the store, the grocery store, for free, you know, when you go to bag your groceries. So they banned those. And now instead of free bags, you have to pay for the bags. So, and the bags are still made out of, take a guess, plastic. And it's thicker, so it's using more plastic. Now I understand, you know, the geniuses, you know, the ones with the degrees are going to say, well, yeah, well, these are reusable bags, though. Well, that's kind of true. You can reuse them. That is true. But I mean, I'm still looking at this thin bag versus this big bag with handles, which is more complex than the thin bag, mind you. Okay, the thin bag is just like a thin layer of plastic, right? I'll try to keep moving so it's not too boring. I'm going actually out into a very remote place, though. There might be a Rex out here, though. I see some Utah. You know, the thin bag is not complex. It's just thin material that it's, I guess, I don't know how they make it on a machine. Whereas the thick bags are made of like more than one layer. You can see that. All right, and then it has like this like string. I don't know if it's plastic string or I didn't really like rip it apart, you know, to see. Okay, why can't I? What am I doing? Oh, boy, I'm so dumb. Okay, forgetting how to play the game. All right. But with the thick bags, you have like multiple layers on some of them. Okay, I'm not going to say all of them. You know, and they have a string that goes through them. I guess that kind of keeps it strong. You know, it's like reinforcement. You know, I guess sort of like how a rebar, you put it in the concrete, and that kind of makes it, you know, it gives it like a structure. Um, so, and then other bags are made of like this cloth material, but I don't think it's made out of like cotton or anything like that. I didn't read the what it was made out of. I guess it's on the tag, but it kind of feels more like a polyester or, you know, some kind of synthetic cloth material. So again, petroleum product, right? So you have thicker plastic bags made out of plastic. You have these cloth bags that are made out of synthetic cloth. At least I'm assuming, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to be right, but I didn't verify. But it feels like synthetic cloth. It doesn't feel like cotton, okay, or silk or anything like that. Um, so I will just bet that it's fake. It's not real cloth. So, and all that comes from petroleum products. And if they don't come from petroleum products, then they're made from some other chemical process. But I'm pretty sure they're all come from petroleum products, right? All right, so that's one problem, right? Now you could say they're reusable. That is true. But really, how many times are you going to reuse it? Like I already had a bag just today. I just went to the grocery store and we have one of those big gigantic bags, you know, and I put a whole bunch of canned goods and stuff in it, you know, because it's a big bag, right? And it looks like it's kind of reinforced. But what happened was is the handles broke off. So one of my bags is ruined already. Right? And that was the more expensive bag. Okay, that one cost me like, I don't know, probably like four bucks. Okay, so they got rid of the thin bags that use less plastic. Okay, and I understand their arguments that, you know, people aren't putting them in the trash and they're throwing them on the ground and they blow all over the place and, you know, this happens and that happens. I get all the arguments. But that bag where the handle just broke is going in the trash. Okay? So it's thicker. It's made out of more materials. Right? Which means in a factory, there's going to be a more complex process to make the bag, right? So well, these guys are quiet today. Which means you're using more energy, right? Now again, they might argue, well, you're only making one bag, whereas you would have made 100 bags, you know, of the thin ones. And again, I kind of understand the arguments. But are you really saving energy? You know, are you really protecting the environment? Right? So you're kind of like making arguments that you're trying to cut down on petroleum products, but at the same time, the products that you need to make now, that you're forcing people to buy them, forcing, right? Again, we're getting into this like state-controlled kind of a system where we're going to tell you what you're going to do. You can't choose for yourself. Now okay, our family, when we got those thin bags, we didn't just throw them in the trash. We didn't just throw them outside and let them blow away in the wind, right? We actually reused them, right? We were recycling them in our house. Nobody told us to do that. Nobody forced us to do that. We just chose to do that because it saved us money from going out and buying more plastic bags. Right? You see where I'm going here? So we had like 100 plastic bags that we kind of accumulated from the grocery stores, and we would use them to put in the little trash cans in our house. Right? So again, instead of going out and spending $15 for little trash bags or whatever, you know, $10, we didn't have to spend any money buying little trash bags. We would just recycle the little ones. These bags, these big bags, are worthless for recycling. Once they break, that's it. They're worthless. They just go in the trash. So, number one, we're spending more money. We're not going to recycle them like we did with the little bags. And these bags use more material to make them. And they're still using petroleum products. So they did nothing to save energy, really, not on a significant scale. They didn't do anything to inspire people to recycle. Right? Because once the bag breaks, that's it. It goes in the trash. And then you got to go out and buy more. So who's making out here? Again, not the common person. Not me, who wants to save money. Not me, who is a recycler. Somebody who has no problem recycling. So now I don't have all those little plastic bags to use for recycling. I have to go to the store and spend $10 a month to buy new trash bags. And then when these big ones break, I have to spend another $3, $4, $5 for another bag. So the corporations make out now, or whoever's selling these paper bags. Okay, it's just more money that they get to take from us. And this is the only thing that results from Democrat policies. And I'm kind of upset that the Republicans voted for this, some of them. The only thing that results from Democrat policies is you and me paying more money. They take away our freedom and then make us pay more money. That's all that results from it. And it's like, I don't understand, like, people, like, how they don't see this clearly. You know, the pandemic, who made out? The pharmaceutical companies. Who's making out with this bag crap? The corporations. Right? And the oil companies, if you're really upset about oil companies, they're making money. They're not losing money. They're going to make more money. Like, I don't have a problem with plastic. I think it's actually a very good thing because you instead of just, imagine if we didn't use plastic anymore. Which is just absurd. We're going to use plastic till the earth is gone. Right? Because there's no replacement for it. Unless you go back to glass. Right? But then they were whining and crying about coal plants. You know, because you needed to burn coal to make the kilns to melt the you know, the sand, silicon, to make the glass. Now, glass would have been perfect to keep, even with the coal burning. Right? Because the glass you can just throw right back to the earth. You know, or if it gets thrown in the woods, it doesn't matter. You're not going to pollute anything. because it's just going to break down into silicon again. Where am I at here now? I'm like going all over the place. I gotta head over to site Z. Here's another bird, I think. Oh. Whew. I heard him, but I stopped paying attention. Oh boy, that doesn't sound good. Now that doesn't sound good. I'm gonna get swarmed. So I can go on and on and on about this whole ban the bags bit, because it just doesn't really do anything to fix what they are complaining about. Okay? All you're doing is just making a small problem a bigger one. Right? Because these bags are going to be used by the vagrants. Right? And do you think that they're going to throw them in the trash can? I mean, let's be serious. Three Utah. Alright, this guy. Ah, can't see him in time. I think I'm hitting him, but barely. He's coming down so fast. Now I can't see these Utah. There you go. Now I can get him. Where is he? I think there's somebody coming from two directions. After I get these Utah, I will talk about the other subject. Next. I see something up there. Let me throw a rock. Okay, I'm going. I think there's two. There might be one more. Maybe. Alright, so the next thing. So we went to Taco Bell. Oh, there he is. Really? Wow. That was point blank. Oh. Okay, that was probably the last one in the group. They always kind of run away for some reason. But he's going to be stalking me. Alright, so I got to go over to site, I think it's Z. So, we went to Taco Bell the other day and we ordered some, I don't know, I think it was like some kind of smoothies or something. And, you know, we got our food, they handed us the drinks. And, you know, we were passing out the drinks to everybody in the car. And then, you know, we pulled out the straws and we're like looking at them because they look kind of weird and funny. And then after, you know, a close inspection, we notice that they're brown. Right? And I'm going, brown. And then I'm like, oh no. Paper straws. It's like, what the frick? So Taco Bell is giving out paper straws. Now, oh my god. That doesn't sound good either. So the reason why I'm saying that is because we already had this experiment. I believe they did paper straws in New York. And they did paper straws in California. And it didn't work. I mean, like, the kids are drinking the drink, right? And, like, within, like, 5 minutes, the straw is, like, literally, like, disintegrating. It's like, it's like, boop, you know, like, boop, drooped over. For, you know, a drink like this big. You know, it's one thing if it was like, you know, like a little shot glass and you're just going, all done, you know, and you throw it out. But, you know, a 16, 20 ounce, 20, 32 ounce drink. And then you're talking about, you know, this was a smoothie, so it was thick. Imagine like a Sprite or a Coke, you know, that has like acid in it. How quickly that straw is just going to like just droop over and be worthless. So my mind is like exploding because I'm going, how dumb. I mean, it's like, it's not even like intelligence here. There's like no intelligence working here. When you make paper straws. It's like they would be better off like, I don't know, growing a bamboo farm. And you can grow bamboo in North America, so that's not crazy. We have bamboo right here in my neighborhood. There's several. There's one guy that has his whole property bambooed. I guess he was probably a veteran from Vietnam and he just felt comfortable with the bamboo. I don't know. But there's several in South Jersey here, bamboo forests. So you'd be better off, I don't know, making a bunch of greenhouses or something. I don't know how you would do it. And selling bamboo straws, or at least giving you a bamboo straw. Which I know probably is much more difficult to do than just making straws. I get that. But again, I don't care about the plastic. Plastic straws are fine for me. I don't think we need to ban plastic straws. So, – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – But paper straws are worthless. They're like useless. You know what I'm saying? They're useless. Where are these guys at? And again, let me give you a scenario of how their genius, right? How these activists, progressives, whatever, dumb politicians have no foresight. So, and I'm going to give you a scenario right now, okay? My son in the back seat, the straw, the paper straw, the genius paper straw fell apart, right? So, you know, he had to carefully take it out so it wouldn't break off and then fall in the drink. So that's the first thing, right? Now you got to worry about the straw falling in the drink and then you got to fish it out. Okay, so, you know, he took it out carefully and, you know, we put that in the trash. Now here's what he had to do to drink his drink from now on. He had to take the lid off. Now just think in your mind of all the scenarios where people couldn't use the paper straw and had to take off the lid. If you're outside, what are you going to do with the lid? If a child, you know, let's say teenagers, young people, have to take off their lid, what do you think they're going to do with the lid? They're going to throw it on the ground. It ain't going to go in the trash. And then it's going to go down the drain or it's going to wash into the ocean or into a lake or whatever the case might be. You know, all the things that they wanted to save with their genius ideas. You see? So now what used to be together and was thrown in the trash together is now separated into two things. Okay? And you know, I know people are going to say, "Well, people shouldn't do that." Well, okay. You're right. People shouldn't just throw their lids on the ground, but that's what they're going to do. Because most people aren't going to want to hold a lid and a drink. Right? They're going to want to hold their drink and their phone. Or their tablet or whatever. But they aren't going to want to sit there and hold a cup and a lid. That's going to feel awkward, it's going to be awkward, and it's going to be uncomfortable. And they're going to want to have their cell phone in their other hand. This is the world that we live in. It's a technological world. That's just what people do. They carry their phone, their tablets, whatever. Right? And even if you intended on throwing the lid out, you're probably going to forget it half the time. You're going to put the lid down on the table or off to the side or whatever. And, you know, you're going to take the drink that you have in your hand. You're going to get up and walk away and drink with it. Or you're just going to get up and throw that in the trash and you're going to forget about the lid. And the other thing that I'm curious about with these paper straws is, are they really helping the environment? Right? Because now, instead of plastic, okay, and I'm going to reiterate this a few times probably, plastic, which is already being produced, which already has factories built to make them, which is already taken from petroleum products, which we now have an abundance in the United States. Okay, it's already there. Petroleum products are already there. The petroleum's there. It's already like when they refine it, they separate it into its little layers and then suck off the different layers. You know, one's going to be like the high octane gas and then the lower octane. You know, then they get to the sludgy stuff, which is like whatever. You know, that's what they make the plastic from. Or maybe the leftover from the refinery process. Maybe they make stuff out of that too. So it's all that stuff that is already produced just from the refinery process. So you don't need to create any other factories or any other like energy, depleting factories or whatever you want to call them, manufacturing plants, to start making paper straws now or these stick bags. You know what I'm saying? Now they could convert factories, I understand that. But the petroleum products are already there. They're going to be there whether you make more plastic or less plastic, right? That sludge is always left over. Now you're going to have more of that left over. So now what are you going to do with it? Nothing? You're going to dump it back into the ground? I mean, instead of making products with it? Because, you know, this is what innovation is all about, right? Innovation allows you to not only create new things, but innovation also helps you to figure out ways that you can use stuff that would normally be just dumped out or just be sitting there with the potential of being dumped out, right? Byproducts, waste. You know, innovation is how we can use that byproduct or waste, if it's waste, and make products with it that are safe and usable by people. But now some companies want to do this paper straw garbage. When it's already failed, it's like useless to make paper straws. There's like no good use for them at all. All you're doing is making straws that people are going to use for less than 5 minutes in most cases, unless they really drink fast. And they're just going to throw them out. So you basically just wasted energy making a straw that people aren't really going to want to use. So you're making products that people really don't want to use. In the name of protecting the environment. So, what are these straws made out of, though? They're made out of paper, right? Now, again, somebody could argue, well, we can recycle paper and make these straws. Well, that's true, but, I mean, if you're going to convert all the way over to paper straws, and people are just throwing the straws out onto the ground to rot away, you're not recycling that straw anymore. Whereas with plastic straws, you can encourage people to throw the plastic straws into a recycling bin. Right? All you need is a sign. If you would please throw your plastic, all your plastic lid and straw in the recycling bin, and throw your paper cup in the trash bin. Or a company could just do plastic cups, plastic lids, plastic straws, and then you're guaranteed for them to throw that into the recycle bin, all of it, to be recycled. You see? I wish I was a politician, because these politicians are just idiots. I mean, they really are. I mean, there's no thinking in their brains. Like, they're out of touch. You know what I'm saying, with the real world. Like, they're out of touch with me and you, regular people. They're totally out of touch. They have no idea what's going on out there. I mean, they know that there's a lot of drug addicts that aren't being treated. They know there's a lot of homeless people who is the reason for all this like influx of immigration, illegal immigration, opening the borders, which is just creating a humanitarian crisis not only at the border but here. I can go on and on about that stuff, but I don't want to. We're talking about straws. So now, in order for these straws to be produced, you're going to need to use more paper product. Right? Now, we already supposedly have a shortage of, toiletry products, paper towels, napkins, and all that, even though I know they're always in the store. We go to the store and there it is. But, we kind of are, you can only produce so much at a time without really destroying the forest like at a rapid rate. So now they want to include paper straws, which is now going to use more paper products, which is now going to destroy more forest. How is that helping the environment? Right? Petroleum products are already there, waiting to be used. There's plenty of it. You're not going to run out. So you can make all the plastic cups, plastic straws, plastic bags, whatever you need to make. You have plenty. And you're not going to destroy forest. You're not going to pollute the air. You're not going to use dangerous chemicals, which they use in paper plants, which are hazardous to the environment. So please tell me, how is this helping? By forcing us to buy these expensive big bags where the handles break after just maybe a dozen uses. Because a lot of people, they don't go to the shopping. They don't go shopping for 3 items. You know what I'm saying? To save time, to save gas, to save trips, to save whatever. If they don't have a lot of time in life, they're going to go grocery shopping. They're going to fill up their cart for 2 weeks worth of food or a month's worth of food. Like we try to buy like a month's worth of food if we can, but it always ends up in 2 trips. So today, one of my $4 bags broke. $4. So how is that helping poor people now, who are like barely scraping by? So now you're forcing them to buy a $1, $2, $3, $4 bag or more because you need more than just one bag. And most people want a big bag because, having a million little bags, how is that going to help? You know what I'm saying? So this doesn't help the environment. It doesn't help with efficiency at all. Because now we're not using the product that's already there, ready to be used. Right? Petroleum product. It's already there, waiting to be processed, waiting to be converted to useful products. Now again, you all might say, well, what about climate change? This is all supposed to be helping, cut down on CO2 emissions. Well, first of all, again, this whole climate argument is farce. It's not reality. They're just saying that something's going to happen with no proof that it's going to happen. Computer models are not proof that something's going to happen. Right? When we were taught in school, and I don't know what they're teaching kids in school today. Really, I don't know. But when we were taught in school, the Earth back in the day had a lot of geologic activity and volcanism, right? And volcanoes, what do they spew into the atmosphere? CO2 is one of the things they spew into the atmosphere. So if all of a sudden, like if you put so much CO2 in the atmosphere and if it gets to a certain point, it's just going to run away greenhouse effect, then why isn't the Earth like Venus right now? Right? Because there's no way to control that. There was no climate change policies, quote unquote, 2 billion years ago. Why didn't it just run away greenhouse effect? Well, because that's not how the Earth works. And this is what you're being lied to about. The Earth is a recycling plant itself. It recycles carbon, it recycles nitrogen, it recycles water. I should say CO2. Recycles CO2. And it recycles other things. Oh, there you go. T-Rex. Gotta hurry up, it's coming. So we're not gonna have a runaway greenhouse effect. And again, people can adapt, right? It's not like people can't adapt if the Earth gets a little bit warmer. Like, I mean, let's be real. People have adapted for thousands of years, and by their time scale, obviously, 1,000,000 years or 2,000,000 years. Right? People have lived through warm periods, ice ages, flood periods. You know what I'm saying? It's like people have survived. You know, I mean, we have nearly 9 billion people now in the world. So obviously people have survived, you know, through wars, through famines, through all kinds of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise we would not be here today. I think that might be the rare. Oh, no, that's a rare male. Come on. Come to Papa. So all this whole climate change thing is just, the only reason it exists is so that government, people can force the government to get an extraordinary amount of power where they normally wouldn't have it. That's it. They want to bring in a socialist system where they can track you, control you, and all that. It has nothing to do with humanity, saving humanity. It has to do with the elites wanting to get in power finally and stay in power forever. Because do you think that they are going to live by their preaching? And the answer is no. We can see that. We saw it in communist Russia. We see it in communist China. We see it in Venezuela. We see it in Vietnam. We see it in all these countries who went socialist or communist. That the people in power, they live like kings. While the people down below, you know, the cattle, the ones who were duped into accepting this system, were the ones who just did what they're told. They got limited resources. Hey there, pretty boy. Sorry I had to take you out, but you know, that's just the way the game is. So, that's all it is. And, you know, unfortunately they've grabbed enough young people to brainwash into thinking that something terrible is going to happen because of climate change. You know, that's not what's going to happen in the future. read the last half of Revelation. In fact, read all of Revelation. That'll tell you how the world's going to end. Very clearly how the world's going to end. There's only one ending to this world. That's it. Hey Zach, what's up? Yeah, I know they're trying to push that here too. I already talked about the 2030 thing, electric cars. They want all electric cars by 2030, 2035 or something. I mean, having all electric cars is just an environmental disaster. I mean, if you ever played that game Cyberpunk 2077, and if you didn't play it, it's not a, you know, it's a very enjoyable, entertaining game, I should say. It's a little violent though, so just beware of that. But if you go out into the wastelands, right, you see all the electronic equipment dumped in the dumps, and all the old windmills that broke down, they're in the dumps, right? Or they're just out there broken. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, I think what they're trying to say is that, well, that's because, you know, the conservatives took over and, you know, they stopped using renewable energy. But I don't think that that's the case there, because they still have the solar panels there, like they have in Germany, like a solar arrays, you know. So I don't think that that's the case, even though they want to try to maybe convey that argument. I would say that doesn't seem to be accurate, but whatever, it doesn't really matter, it's just a game. But what I'm saying is that's what it's going to look like if we go sustainable, because you can't, what are you going to do with all the batteries when they're no good? What are you going to do with all that electronic stuff that the cars are made out of? What are you going to do with all the other materials that you made the cars out of? You know? You can recycle some of it, but you can't recycle all of it. Yeah, you can still start a server. Well, I don't think there's public servers, Zach. You have to. People just start their own servers if that's what you're talking about. It's like a peer-to-peer thing. It should die. And it died. Yeah, I guess I should get out my horn. Yeah, so I don't know. These guys, I don't understand. I don't understand. I mean, it's like they're I mean, the paper straw thing is the thing that got me most. Like, it's like, why are we doing that again? Like, California tried it, New York tried it, other places tried it, and it doesn't work. Nobody wants paper straws. I mean, and they don't, and they're useless. That's the that's the main point. It doesn't even matter whether people want them. Paper straws are worthless. You know, they're like good for nothing. All they do is just get thrown on the ground. And then make people take their lids off, which are going to end up on the ground instead of in the trash can. I don't know. Anyway. So, anyway, that's all I really have to say for now. I don't know. That was just coming from some things I experienced recently. Well, this week, as a matter of fact. And I just wanted to kind of get that off my chest because it's like, you know, if we don't come together, like, and I mean, everybody wants to help the earth, right? Everybody wants to keep the environment safe and clean and all that stuff, right? And but the problem is that there is no discussion anymore. And it's almost like the progressives are like mesmerized, right? Like there's a magic spell cast on them with this climate change, carbon footprint thing. You know, that's why I said it's not really scientific. There's no science in it. It's all about control. I mean, there's just nothing logical about it. They just keep doing things over and over that do nothing to help anything. It's almost like they just do it to like make it seem like they're doing something. You know what I'm saying? You know, like let's just ban plastic bags, you know, because that'll make us look good. Let's just make paper straws because then people think we really care about the environment and we're trying to save things. It's like there's no like thought. It's not really it's not broken. I mean, my kids, we all got it and we can all play it. And I didn't see anybody trying to get on yet. Um, I was able to get on. So I thought that somebody else would be able to get on. Like I'm not running the server where I'm playing it. The server is running on my computer over here. And I connected to the game through the internet, not through the LAN. But oh yeah, somebody is on. I forgot. Don's on. How come it's not showing him though? Don's invisible. I guess because he's on Wi-Fi. Let me see if he can. Don's on, so somebody did connect. Well, some people have a problem with like their save file is corrupted, so they always start at 0. All you got to do is just get a uncorrupted save file and copy over yours, and then it should work. And I think I have one on my Discord that people can use. to fix theirs if they need to fix it. Alright, I guess I'm gonna head over to I'm kinda out here in the middle of nowhere. I'm gonna head over to the swamp, I guess. That's a little bit of a ways. So as you can see, I love the APBT is on, Don. But I can't see them on the map. Because sometimes when people are on Wi-Fi connection, they're invisible on the like you can see them like that if they're killing stuff, but you can't see them on the map or the team screen. No, you just have to when you play your game, just make sure that you make a backup of your save file. And like I said, if your save file is corrupted, just get somebody else's that's good, and then just use that. I mean, it doesn't really matter. You don't have like a unique character that you made. You can still like switch to whatever whatever avatar you want to use. You know, like my save file, if you use it, you would be at level. You will be at max level. And I think there's some guns and ammo in there or whatever. So that's really what you would be doing. You'd be starting out at wherever the save file was. Now, if you wanted to start from 0, you would have to find somebody's save file that was good from 0. You know, so that might be difficult if you wanted to like start from the beginning. Now the server's open. Yeah, the server's open. Whoever wants to come on, come on. Oop, I hear a birdie. Come here, birdie. Time to knock you out of the sky. I'll let the birds see me. So he should be honing in on me now. He's gonna come low. Watch, he's gonna come right over. Yep, there he is. Okay, he's coming this way. This is gonna be difficult. Yeah, nice. He came in slow. Oop. Stealth. Quiet. Surprised I hit him because I couldn't even see. I just took a guess. Yeah, I still think that some key, key sites are selling this game, believe it or not. I'm not sure what was going on with that guy. Acting a little erratic there. Might even get a Rex over here somewhere. I gotta go this way, I guess. I'm like going back the other way. Yeah. Yeah. No problem, Zach. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, don't for just you know, you can come on the server anytime or stream. Give a little like and share. That helps to get the video out. I know that, you know, this isn't what normal, you know, most people like to watch, but whatever. I just like gameplay, you know what I mean? I mean, I'm trying to do some kind of commentary with it to make it a little more palatable, but, you know, I can only say so much. But I feel like I'm just way over here. Uh-oh. Here we are again. I gotta be preemptive. Preemptive with my blurry vision. Oh. Excuse me. Somebody's there. Yep, gotta shoot first. Oh, he saw me. These are the best trees to stay behind. These palm trees or whatever they are. For some reason they have a harder time seeing you right away. Maybe they got a bigger box around them or something. Oh, he ran away. Okay. That was a surprise. He might come back. Gotta stay on my toes. It's funny, YouTube just alerted me of people using my videos on their channel. Isn't that funny? I don't know if it was like fans of mine or, you know, people that watch my content or whatever. I mean, I don't really mind per se people using my video content, but like not the whole thing, you know what I mean? Like from what I was looking through, it wasn't too many, it was like 20 or something. Most people were just using short clip, like, you know, 3 to 6 minutes or something, you know, 7 minutes. It might have been a cut scene from a game, or it might have been like a short section in a game, you know. And you could tell that they recorded it with their phone or something because the quality wasn't really that good. But there was one video where you could see my face, like here on this video where you can see my face in the camera. And then some people like made it bigger so you couldn't see my face. And then one person had a VR video and you could clearly hear my voice. Like it's me talking. You know? So that was really the only one that I, you know, asked them to please remove it because that was, you know, they used like the whole video practically or most of it. So, you know, I don't like to be a stickler. I mean, if you're going to use my content, at least give me credit, you know, in your description and let people know to go to my channel. I mean, that would be helpful, you know, so. There's got to be T-Rex coming over this way. They have to be. With all the noise that I'm making. And I think this is the, maybe that's over here more. The mound. The big mound, I think, is coming up. Yeah. Ooh, eggs. Are these Velociraptor eggs? Mmm, yummy eggs. Come on, you little terrors. Yeah, I think they should have made these Velociraptors more aggressive. So that the only way you can kill them is when they jump up on you, right? You know? But they did the same thing where they kind of run and stop. It's like, come on. They should just make them like so hyperactive that you only can kill them when they're jumping up on you. on, Rexy. Darn it. The rain. No rain right now. Alright. We should be getting some action over here by the swamp. So I'm probably going to just clear out the swamp here and call it a day. So let's see how many T-Rex we can get here at the swamp. Man, I wish they would put some, I wish they would make a dinosaur map on the, Call of the Wild. The game industry? Well, you know. Well, there's still some good ones out there, I think. You know, most of the game industry is going woke. So, I mean, if you're going to cater to just social justice, which really isn't social justice, fake, I should say fake social justice. Oh, what happened? Oh, yeah, I did the wrong one. Then you're not going to focus on writing good stories that people can relate to, right? You're going to be writing stories that don't make sense, that are political and preachy, and just they're not going to be coherent. Because you're going to try to jam stuff in there that doesn't belong. It's like when you have a scene, and like I don't have a problem with gay people or whatever, because you can do and be whatever you want. Just don't make me do it, right? Just don't force me to do things that I don't want to do, because that's stepping on my freedom. So people can be free to whatever they want to do, but it's like when you you have a show or a movie, for instance, and then out of nowhere, it's like you just have this homosexual lovemaking scene in there. You know what I mean? It's like that doesn't help the story, it doesn't move the story, it doesn't fit into the story. It's just kind of like interjected in there. Or you're walking down the street and there's like a protest going on, and it says Black Lives Matter, or uh, white privilege, or you know you know gay pride, or whatever the case is. It's like It's just, you know what I'm saying? It's just like put in there and it's awkward. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, or they just have a character in there that's all like flamboyantly gay. You know what I mean? And you know, it's like you know, but they don't really have any like real like part in the story. They're just like a tag-along character that you just had to put a gay person, an Asian person, a black person, and a Indian person, and a, you know, you have like the, you know, multicolored group. You know what I'm saying? So that looks awkward, right? Now, I don't have a problem with any of those people at all, like none, zero, right? I'm negative prejudiced. So it's like, but it's like when you do it and it's obvious that you did it, it kind of takes away from the immersion and the realism. It kind of takes the realism out of it. You know what I'm saying? Um, because regular everyday people, when they go places and they see people, that's reality, right? Not like forcing like multiracial where it doesn't belong, you know, or forcing gay and lesbianism or homosexuality or whatever where it doesn't belong. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't need to know about it, in other words. Like, a character can be gay, but we don't have to know they're gay. Why do I have to know somebody's gay? Explain that to me. Now, if somebody's transgender, well, that might be a little more obvious. Okay? Because you can tell at least most transgenders. Some are pretty good at, you know, making themselves look like the opposite sex. Um, and again, if they want to do that, that's their right. Fine. I have no problems with that. But again, why do I have to know that this particular guy is gay or this girl is a lesbian? Why? For what reason? How is that helping the story? How is that advancing the story? How is that going to make the story more interesting? So that's what they're doing with the games, right? What's up, Spruce? How's it going? Knights of the Old Republic? I don't know. I haven't followed that too much. Right. Yeah, well, we know it's forced. Exactly. Right. But, you know, the problem is not just that it's forced, but it looks forced. Like, they can't even, like, put it in there in a way where it kind of flows with the story. It flows with the, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think most people care if there's a gay character in a movie or a story or a show. It's just that why does it have to be like the glowing bulb, so to speak? The flare in the show, you know? You know, to me it's like when you force things on people, and this is my opinion, so correct me if I'm wrong, but it is just an opinion, so it really can't be wrong necessarily, but when you force people to do things, that's when they're not going to like it. Right? That's when you create resentment. You know what I'm saying? So when you let people be free and you let people enjoy freedom, then they can respect the freedom of others. But when you force things on people and they're not allowed to be free, then that makes them resentful towards the people that are not only forcing them, but also what you're forcing upon them. Rather than just how we were back in the 80s. The 80s were great because everybody just loved everybody. Well, you know, not everybody, but you understand. If you want to talk about a tolerant decade, the 80s were like the most tolerable decade. People could dress how they wanted, nobody cared. People acted how they wanted, nobody cared. You know, people, there was interracial stuff going on and nobody cared, you know? And then all of a sudden these progressives just destroyed all that. We made it through the civil rights movement. You know, we passed the Civil Rights Act. The 70s came in. You know, that was just a crazy time, you know. But then it flowed into the 80s, and then all of a sudden the progressives were doing nothing but attacking Christians. The 70s and the 80s, attacking Christians, attacking Christians. And isn't it funny that what they were attacking Christians for in the 70s and 80s, which of course they were lying about, but you know, all the Christians were saying in the 70s and 80s is there's just too much violence in movies. There's too much like exploitation in movies of not only black people but women, right? They're the ones who were kind of like bringing that up. But they weren't forcing people to do or not do something. They were just saying, let's just kind of like, you know, at least regulate it better, you know, so that, you know, kids aren't seeing this stuff, you know. And then what do the progressives do? They hijack that, and now that's what they're saying today. So it was bad for the Christians to be saying the same thing the progressives are saying today, but it's okay for progressives to say it now. And if you say anything against them, oh my God, you're the devil. And then they contradict themselves by allowing all the sex on TV, the Cardi B's to be singing about inappropriate things and doing inappropriate things on stage. And, you know, it's like, I don't know, it's like oxymoronic the way they behave. Over here they say bad, 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 but yet they're saying it's okay to do it over here. That doesn't make any sense at all. But I don't want to get on that. Yeah, big time. Big time double standards. Again, I don't think most people have a problem with just simple decency. Like, you know, they make it seem like me, you, and everybody else is like, oh my God, we just want to put all women up there naked and let them, you know, grope them and touch them and feel them. And it's like, you know, they create situations through the media, right? They're the real demons through the media that don't exist. Right? In other words, they make up news that doesn't exist. And then when you do have a real situation happen, you know, which are isolated, then it's like nobody cares because you've already kind of like got on everybody's nerves by making these isolated situations seem like they're all over the place happening. So then you just numb people to having any sympathy or empathy. It's like the progressives created that situation. Oh, he got the T-Rex. He beat me to it. Okay, well, I guess I gotta go out here then. How many has he killed so far? I guess not too many. Oh yeah, I know, January 6th. Oh my goodness. Don't get me started on that. But you know what? The media has a big influence on people. Despite what me or you or some other people think. You know, because I got people at my church, unfortunately, you know, who still ride the Democrat wave. You know, and then they don't like Trump because he's such a bad guy. You know, it's like, and that's all because of the media. You know, I'm not saying Trump is perfect or anything, but he's not the devil that everybody makes him out to be. You know, he's definitely got flaws, but he tells it like it is. But the media only takes, you know, little short clips of what he says and says, "See what he said?" You know, but that's not really what he said. You have to hear, you know, listen to the whole clip, the whole context. Oh yeah, I know. It's pretty sad when the progressives compare compare things to slavery, to Pearl Harbor, to 9/11. You know what I'm saying? It's that's just sick. You know what I mean? That's just beyond mental illness. And the problem with it is it's not mental illness. They're doing it on purpose. This is deliberate. A lot of these people are doing this deliberately, simply to push the socialist totalitarian agenda. You know, they don't care about your freedom and my freedom. You know, they just want us to be cattle, and that's it. You eat what we give you. You sleep where we tell you. You own what we say you can own, and in fact, you're not even allowed to own what you own anymore. They don't want you to have any ownership. You know, it's funny how they go, "Oh, healthcare is a right," and "Oh, abortion is a right." Right? But yet you don't have the right to own your own property. You don't have the right to think and speak how you want to speak without getting some kind of like smear campaign on you or cancellation, kicked off social media, you know, demonized, and worse yet, dehumanized. You know, so again, it amazes me. You have all this right over here to nothing that you really have a right to. People don't have a right to health care. And they don't have a right to equity, to have everybody have the same pay. That's not a right. You know, all through history, work has been a, say, like a transaction or contract where you do this job for me, I'm going to pay you this amount. Or if I'm going to do that job for you, I want this amount. However you want to look at it. If you really had good skills, then you can negotiate. But if you were just a so-so, you do an okay job, but nothing perfect, nothing great, then, you know, you can't negotiate. Because you don't have that kind of ability. You know, you're negotiating your skill. I mean, that's what it's all about. Just got major vertigo. I think as my ears popped and it messed up my equilibrium. Okay, I am out in the open here. Yep. Yeah, they did that on purpose. They wanted to kill manufacturing because they know a lot of people who are middle class usually vote conservative. Right? And they have to make you more poor. You know, that's what it's all about. They don't want you to be well off. They don't want you to have those benefits, corporate benefits anymore. They don't want you to have that nice retirement. Ah, darn it. Too much wobbling. She doesn't know where I am yet. Here I am. Am I shooting that bad? My goodness. Ah! Oh. Jerking too much, my goodness. Driving me nuts. I'm just gonna take her out. Getting on my nerves now. That got her good. Now she should be bleeding to death. Big time. Yeah, she was definitely bleeding. Probably that first shot was enough to take her out. Yeah, well, see, digital currency is a problem too, because I mean, oh, you mean like no more like money? You just everybody has a card. Yeah, well, yeah, even cryptocurrency though is like to me, I don't know, it's kind of worthless now because if you didn't get in the game early, you're like scraping pennies, you know? But yeah, digital, if everything goes all digital, that's a really big problem. They can freeze your assets very easily. You know what I mean? I mean, they can do it now, but you know, at least you can put some cash aside. Yeah, this is what they want to do, man. They want to strangle you. Any way they can. Oh no, I am. I mean, look at what they did to what's it? The pillow guy. The My Pillow guy. You know, the bank wouldn't let him do business at the bank anymore. I mean, that should not be allowed. I mean, I don't even know how that's allowed. I mean, it doesn't matter if a bank is a private. I don't care if any company is a private company. You know? If you literally didn't threaten somebody to kill them or something, then you shouldn't be banned for anything. You know what I'm saying? Let alone a bank. Like, okay, there are other banks you can go to, but still, it's like, I mean, people need banks to do business. It's like not something that you can do without. Because you can't, like, put $60 million in cash in a warehouse somewhere. I mean, the whole purpose of a bank is to, like, make it easy to manage your money, you know, and to keep your money protected. So it's like, you know, there should be no such thing as a bank, you know, telling you that you can't do business with them anymore. I mean, especially if you didn't say anything against them or, like, do anything physically to their bank. Like, if you went to their bank and, like, started destroying everything, then I could understand them saying, well, sir, you just can't bank at our locations anymore. Because, you know, we can clearly see that you don't like us. Right? That's a reason to cut somebody off. But not simply because you have a different point of view or a different worldview. That shouldn't be a reason to be able to say you can't bank here anymore. Like, I don't even understand how you can get away with that. I mean, in my personal opinion, he should just go start his own bank. Why not? You know, Lydell Bank. And I'm sure a lot of conservatives will jump right on board and do their banking there. You know, it might not be what he wanted to do, but hey, if you can't beat him, join him. Right? As the old saying goes. And then he can go on there and say, look, everybody come join my bank. You know, we'll even refinance your mortgage. You know? That's what I would do. I'd say, you know what? Screw all you banks. I'm going to start my own bank. I mean, he's making enough money where he probably could do that. Same thing with Elon Musk. He should just start his own bank. Screw everybody else. I don't want to do business with you anymore. Same thing with the like groceries. I'm going to start my own grocery store. You want to be woke? I'll start my own grocery store. Oh, I hear another Rex. Now, obviously, people like me and you, we can't do that, but, you know. There's rich conservatives out there, man. They should band together with each other and say, you know what, we're going to start our own grocery store chain. We're going to start our own mortgage company. We're going to start our own banking, you know, franchise. And the government can't do anything about it. And if they do, take it to the Supreme Court. But you can see what they're doing about the, you know, you see what they're doing with the Supreme Court now. Hey, what's up, Alvin? Now the progressives and the media are doing nothing but trying to delegitimize the courts. And I told you guys this a few years ago. more than once, is that one of the first things, maybe not the first, but one of the things predating socialism coming in and totalitarianism coming in, authoritarianism coming in, is to delegitimize the court system. They did this in Venezuela. They usually do it in communist countries where they try to destroy the checks and balances, right? And if you don't know what checks and balances are, which they probably aren't teaching this in school anymore, right? Because they want kids to be dumb. They don't want them to know why the United States system is the best system in the world, is, so that one branch of government doesn't gain too much power, right? So the president doesn't get too much power. The Congress can, say, hey, your law, your executive order is out of line. You can't do it. And we're going to take it to the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court says, yeah, you're right. You kind of crossed over a line there. You can't do that. And the same thing with the Congress. If the Congress passes a law, the president can take it to the Supreme Court and say, yo, they crossed over a line there. Or the common people can take it to the Supreme Court. And they could say, yeah, this law is unconstitutional. See, that's why they want to destroy checks and balances, right? They just want it to be that the president has all the power or the Congress has all the power. You know what I'm saying? And this was the reason for the Supreme Court and why we have the three branches of government. And why we have a republic rather than a straight-out democracy. Come on, where'd you go, buddy? He walked away, huh? See if I can shoot him. See if I can get a couple shots. Oh, there he is right there. Nice. Time to go. I forgot about my arrows. She's honing in on me. She's stuck. Come on, I'll help you get off. There you go. So back to the courts. So that's exactly what they're trying to do now. What I said was, they were gonna do, because I mean I'm not the only one who said that, but oh, got her. Nice. But that's what all these like authoritative people want to do. And they always, always do it through the media. I'm okay, Al. Been doing all right. I don't really have any complaints. And when you get rid of the court system, Or you pack the courts, as they say. I didn't even know they could do that until recently. But I think they would have to change the Constitution now. I don't know how they can pack the courts. I mean, I didn't realize that was a Congress thing. Like Congress can just vote to make more judges. I thought that you had to. I thought that was a constitutional thing. I'd have to look into that a little bit more. But you know, if you made like a panel of 35 judges, you know what I mean? The reason why they only had 9 judges is so that, you know, you would never have like a forever period of time where, you know, like in other words, an unlimited time period where only you would have like I don't even think it had to do with Democrat and Republican really, but you know, it's better to have a few people with mixed opinions decide something than have a lot of people with mixed opinions, but where there's like a supermajority of opinion, right? Because you would never ever get the other side's opinion to ever go. You know what I'm saying? Because if you had like say 50 people here with a particular worldview or opinion, and 25 people here, you would never ever be in favor of this opinion over here, ever. You know what I'm saying? So, but see, we have a 9 judges, which is enough. But see, they're not supposed to base their decisions on their opinion. Right? That's why I was saying that earlier, that it wasn't about Democrat and Republican originally. Or there wasn't Democrat and Republican in the beginning, but whatever, you get my point. It wasn't about one political party versus another. It was about upholding the Constitution. Right? Which the Founding Fathers all agreed on. Right? Let me say that again. Which the Founding Fathers all agreed on. And they didn't all think the same. But the one thing they agreed on was this Constitution is what we want our citizens to live by. This is their rights that they're entitled to have. And that's what the courts should be basing it on. See, progressives, they don't follow that. They don't care about the Constitution and your rights and my rights. They just want their way or no way. You see? So it's very dangerous what they're doing now. Getting young people to think that the courts are doing something wrong when they're not. They're not doing the conservative judges ruled justly. And why do I say justly? Because they're ruling based on the Constitution of the United States. The Constitution of the country. The Constitution that protects its citizens. Right? Abortion is not a constitutional issue. You killing your baby is not protected under the Constitution. In fact, I would argue that the baby is protected under the Constitution because he's a human being. Why that's so hard for people to grasp in their brains, I don't know. Uh-oh. Oh, the server crashed. Oh, well. All right, guys. I'm going to cut it off now. The server crashed, so. Hey, Echo. Nice to see you, buddy, but I got to get off. Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah, but I'm looking at the server and it just crashed, so I guess that's my cue to get off. Anyway, thanks for stopping by, guys. Nice chatting with you. I mean, I wish there was a better way we could chat, but, you know. Again, I'll try to do another video next week. I know I keep saying that. But I'm going to try to get back to it. It's summertime, so it's a little harder because, we like to go out a lot. It's warm. You get it. So, but if there's like a time like this, I can fit something in. Could be late at night. You never know. But anyway, peace, guys. Take care.